Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update with me, Rebecca.meisl, channeling messages from my guides to you for the collective for this week of April 7th through to April 14th. Wow, I have to say this was quite the reading, and I really feel like a lot of us might be feeling these very intense energies lately, this very intense, serious energy that has been really rocking a lot of us, and this week it really continues. We're getting some really strong advice and some beautiful channeled messages this week. So without further ado, let's move into it. So what first came through was closing the door to anger, embracing the unknown, and coming to a peace moment. So what came through was this strong energy of anger at the world. So for a lot of us, we might start seeing this theme sink to the surface, or come to the surface rather, this week. And so what channeled was anger at the world for the injustice, the unfairness, and denial of yourself and your desires. Where have we blamed others or even the universe for our pain and our lot in life? Where do we need to dive into our losses and see them as the catalysts for growth? Where have you felt held back when it has only been yourself? So what really came through was this theme of blame this week. So where are we blaming others, our circumstances, and even the universe from attaining our goals when they have only been the mirror of how we really feel inside? So an amazing first theme. It's very heavy. A lot of times in Mercury retrograde, we get these heavier themes. But what's so beautiful is the empowerment that comes from this awareness. So this week, just pay attention to that. What are my stories? What are the stories that I'm telling myself daily? Or what are these hurts that I've been harboring, that I've built resentment around? And so they're really bringing this attention to that frustration and anger. Where do we feel that we've been held back? Where do we feel like we've experienced injustice or unfairness? And where have we actually been misplacing blame? So they're giving me this example of where we can have this dangling carrot analogy, where it feels like the universe has been dangling this carrot, showing us that this is what's possible for us. And something seems to always get in the way. We get tripped up. We can never reach that carrot. We can never get to that end goal without something sabotaging it, without something unjust or unfair happening. And it keeps us held back from achieving our goals. And this can be very frustrating, and this can bring up a lot of anger and resentment to ourselves, to the universe, and to others. But this week, we're really getting this very strong message to break free. So where have we felt held back? And where have we been misplacing this blame on even external circumstances from attaining what we really want to attain in our lives? And the truth that's coming through here is shattering this illusion, because they're really bringing in this awareness of what we are is what we manifest, and what we constantly are in the state of our being is mirroring out. And so what they were kind of showing me is these circumstances, these things that have been seemingly the blocks to your success, have only been mirroring the internal blocks that we have within. So I love how they put this. Where are we blaming others, circumstances, or the universe from attaining our goals when they have only been the mirror of how you really feel inside? Okay, so continuing from this, you are you, and the universe mirrors this. Take an honest look at what you are. Where is release needed? Where has pain been needed to highlight the pain within yourself. Where have we been choosing to live in a state of suffering and perpetual denial? Be honest. Be true. It's time to set yourself free. So what is the excuse that you're making that withholds you from being the savior, the sovereign of your life? Identify where you have given your power away to victim mentalities. This is a time to learn and to grow, not to be lost in your sorrow. Are your sorrows where you truly wish to stay? What is the new version you have for your life, and how can you claim it? So this was super amazing because once more this week we're going to be required to take extreme ownership, extreme responsibility for our lives and for ourselves and the belief systems we are currently holding on to that are only manifesting more of this perpetual denial and suffering. So once more, where have we given our power away to circumstances, to belief systems, to things that are keeping us small, that are keeping us seemingly safe from what we really need to be doing? So this week, they're kind of calling us out a little bit and saying it's time to wake up. This is the time for us to seize the day, to seize control of every facet of self, of every facet of our lives, and to be incredibly intentional when it comes to our vibration. So we touched a lot on that last week, but to carry that forward and to refresh our minds of this, what our vibration is currently is what we are attracting currently. So whether we wish or want things to be different, if our vibration is saying we deserve a lack-based life where we don't get our needs met, then that is what we're going to keep attracting. Whether we think or desire something different, we have to do the work to change the vibration. We have to do the work to take control and purge ourselves of these energies and these stories that keep us in that vibration of lack. So they're giving me the example of someone who grew up believing that they weren't good enough or they needed to change to be this perfect version of self. So that in essence, if we are still holding on to that anywhere in our vibration, that is going to continue to echo out into the universe, which is going to mirror back that same story. So if this person's like, mentally I know I deserve more, mentally I want more, but I still deep down believe that I'm still not good enough. If I still deep down believe that I'm unworthy, then you're going to keep attracting, say, employers or relationships or financial issues that keep showing up in your life to mirror that vibration to you. This is what you truly think you deserve. So they're really bringing this awareness. What is it you really believe that you deserve in your life? So look at these areas of your life this week. Where is lack showing up for you? Where is lack showing up in your relationships? Where is lack showing up in your career, your finances? Where is lack showing up with your personal relationship with yourself and your body? Pay special attention and identify specifics. So I'm really hearing this week is not the time to blow past our problems or to take very swift action. We need to be calculated and we need to be able to take the time to address each of these areas very thoroughly, because once more, we're purging our vibrations. We are purging our energetic self so we can really take on this new vibration of love, of light that is going to continue to attract love and light. So we need to see where we've been settling for less than we deserve and purge these vibrations for good, these vibrations of lack, these vibrations of victimhood, and instead choose empowering mindsets for ourselves and empowering belief systems that can take us into a space of abundance. So this is once more, it's like, what excuse have you made that says, oh, I'll never be able to get there. I'll never be able to attain this because, oh, I don't have the money, or I don't have the capability, or I'm not good enough, or my job doesn't allow it. You know, you're giving your power away, point blank. And yes, those are valid, they're valid, right? These things are valid. But what the universe really wants to bring to our attention is we have the power to make change. And this is where they're saying the external is only mirroring the internal. So this is where empowerment comes. When we make the internal changes, the external will have no choice but to change. And they want to show us how powerful we are. So they're just showing me this beautiful yellow aura, this yellow light, which is all about the solar plexus. The solar plexus is our empowerment center. It is associated with the sun. And they're giving it back to us. It's like, here's your power. Take it back and put it within yourself. Claim this for yourself. And this is what we're being asked to do this week. Where do we need to make change? Even if it just comes to the mindset, even if it just comes to purging those emotions from the past that we're still carrying, right? What is it that needs to shift? And how can we remove any excuses? Because whatever it is we're saying that's saying we cannot move forward, it is an illusion. It is not true. Okay? There's always something that we can shift. There is always something we can do. And they're really bringing in, what are you prioritizing? And stop ingraining the story that it's not possible for you. Okay? This is the other thing they're saying. The more you repeat that story, oh, I can't do it. This is this. No. Change the story. I will make this happen. I will be the leader of my life. I will make the change because I deserve it. And they're being incredibly forceful here. You deserve it. Claim it for yourself. Stop making excuses. And they're bringing you to this awareness. When you come to this age in your life, this point in your life, where all the years have been said and gone, do you want to say that you held yourself back? Do you want to have that regret? It's time to transcend beliefs that no longer deserve you. So the other side of the coin of this is seeing where we have been a victim. Okay? Where have we been a victim to the sorrows of life? And where are we giving our power away to the victim story? Okay, so once more, this is our time to learn and to grow, not to be lost to your sorrow. Okay, now this is something that might come in very strong this week. We might have to battle our victim stories because we all have them. Okay, this is very human of us. We're going to have sorrows. We're going to have pains. We're going to have hurts. And this is not to negate them. This is not to say your emotions don't matter, that your story doesn't matter. But the fact is we are at a very pivotal point in time where we have to make a choice. A choice between our pasts and the old way of living, or if we're going to choose a new way, if we are going to make the leap of faith and choose the life that actually is worthy of us, the life that satisfies and fulfills us. So they're showing me where some of us have greatly attached to our pain. We have greatly attached to our victim story, the stories of our past. And that is almost fused with our identity, where it's like, I don't even know who I am without it. I don't know who I am without my pain and what I've come through. And this is where we need to see that we are not defined by our pain, right? We are love. So where do we need to remember that? That we don't have anything to prove. And we see this a lot. A lot of times we compare stories where it's like, who had the worst life? Who triumphed over more? Who cares? Okay, at the end of the day, what matters is that you're choosing yourself and you're choosing to live a life of bliss. You're choosing to live a life of love and happiness and fulfillment. Does comparing your story give you that? Right? If it does, it's just feeding the ego. Where do you need to see you are enough right where you are? Right? We need to see where we are in our ego and where we need to be in our soul. And seeing that holding on to these stories of pain and hurt is only keeping us there. It's keeping us hurt. It's keeping us in sorrow. It's keeping us in the darkness when we deserve to be in the light. So make the choice this week. Where do you need to separate yourself from your pain? Where do you need to have this healthy mentality for your life where you can feel the emotions and go through them, but let them go? Okay? This is what the eclipse, this is what this very pivotal shift in time is bringing. It's bringing this immense healing and purging that needs to happen. And it's only going to progress longer the more we hold on. So all I'm hearing is just be willing. Be willing to choose what's good for you now. Be willing to let go of your pain. Be willing to see yourself defined not by the stories of your past, but who you are now. Because you've changed. That's what they're showing. It's like you've grown, you've changed, you've pivoted your life. You're not in your past anymore. So let it go. That's not who you are. It's time to choose love. Okay, because I love how they bring this to us. It's like so matter of fact. Are your sorrows where you wish to stay? Like really, when you look at your daily life, is that what you're choosing every day? To look at the negative, to be in the past, to be in the wallowing of the world. Is that where you really want to be? So why are you putting your attention there every single day? Why are you focusing your energies there every single day? Because guess what? There always will be some darkness in this world. There's always going to be a balance of dark and light, but it's how we choose to navigate it. It's how we choose to see it. It's how we decide consciously every single moment of our lives. We are choosing how we wish to spend these precious years that we are in this incarnation and what we do with it. So what do you want to do with it? You, light worker, are here to be the light. You are not here to be in the dark. So stop going there. Enough. Enough. Cut it off. This does not deserve you. It is done. What new version of yourself have you become? And how can you embody it? This is what we're being called to do. Embody it. Claim it for yourself. Choose it. They're really showing us that we have to claim it. We have to decide. So a lot of us haven't fully decided. Some of us are still in this space of limbo and confusion. And if you've been in that, if you've been feeling confused, if you're like, I just don't even know what I believe anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. The universe is like, good. This is good. Okay? As much as it makes you feel not good, it is good because you're now having a choice. Before, you were so in it, that you didn't have a choice. You didn't feel you did. You couldn't see there was a choice available. But now you're questioning. Now you're going, oh, is this really how I want to live? Is this who I really want to be? Is this the identity I really want? This is a good place to be. You are questioning. You are beginning to see and take shape your own authentic truth. This is a beautiful place to be because you have choice. You get to choose. You are not willingly accepting what the universe or what others or what society tells you. You are going within yourself. This is the opportunity you have to go within yourself and define who you are on your terms, to approve of yourself without any outside influence. You're going to approve of you now. You're going to approve of your life now. You are going to become so incredibly conscious of who is in your life, what is in your life, and what you believe, and where you focus that attention. So step up and soar. Rise like the moth from the darkness and seek the light. Your transformation is near. The birth is nearly complete. These are the last labor pains, and you will persevere. This was so amazing and so profound. The moth totem itself is so much about embracing the darkness and coming to the light. It's this beautiful symbol of transformation and change, and this depth to it. You know, the butterfly is very much a symbol of transformation and change as well, but it's lighter. It's almost like this ease that comes with the butterfly. It's beautiful. We see it. But the moth, there's this depth. When you look into those totem animals and you work with those totem animals and the spirits, it's this shift you notice. And it's so interesting that they chose the moth to highlight this week, because the moth it's in the dark. It's embracing those aspects of darkness. And yet it is attracted to the light. So they're really showing this beautiful analogy of how we need to embrace both sides of ourselves and bring them to oneness. Okay, so once again, it's like we feel like we have to separate sometimes from dark, from these aspects of self, but we're learning how to embrace them and integrate them as well as the light. So it's this beautiful harmonization that is really coming in, that is going to really help us take this new approach forward, where once more, we're not going to be afraid anymore. We're not going to be afraid of the darkness. We're not going to be afraid of these shadow aspects of self. We're going to learn how to embrace them, but we're also going to learn where enough is enough. We're going to learn that balance, where the line is. Okay, I'm going to embrace these shadows, but I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to see that there's light. I'm going to rise to the light. And what's so beautiful about this is that's what we're doing. We are rising this week. We are claiming this transformation that is coming forward for us. And I love how they brought this forth as a birth, because we are literally being born anew. Okay? And these are like the final moments. These are like the final labor pains where we're being pushed out of this dark womb that we've been in to the new world. We're going to be out there. So this is defining what we want that world to be. We are rapidly manifesting what our futures are going to be. Okay, they're showing me like it's speeding up. The energies are speeding up. Your manifestations are speeding up. They're going to be here very soon. So define very closely what you want that to be, what you want that life to look like. We're almost there. We're in the final stages of this process where you will be born as who you've chosen to be. Okay? absolutely phenomenal. Get excited about this. Get excited about it. If old hurts and pains surface, good. This is good. You are letting them go because you're going to choose yourself. Okay? So do not give your power away this week. Hold true to yourself. Know that this is what you are doing. This is what you are choosing. The new you. This embodied you. This love-based life. It's what you deserve. Okay? So this next theme comes in, an end to crisis. I love this. There is no crisis. Only the ones you permit for yourself. So what are you permitting? Lack mindsets? Settling for less? Where have you become complacent and grown used to unhappiness and unfulfillment in your life? What do you continue to say yes to when you know you desire change? Say no. It is time to create a new reality for your life, and it starts now. Where have we overturned our own boundaries? Commit and reconcile the parts of yourself that are afraid. Listen to them and comfort them. Give these parts of yourself loving encouragement. You dance upon the edge of the blade of change. What situation bears no fruit? What are you ready to finally say goodbye to in your life? What has gone on past its due? This is the final straw. Make a decision and stay firm. The internal changes made will change your external reality. It's all a mirror, a reflection. So what does your mirror reflect? So profound. All of these messages this week are so profound and incredible. So once again, we are shattering illusions for ourselves this week. This is also going to bring huge third eye opening. This is going to bring huge psychic downloads, huge surges of clairvoyance, of this amazing ability to see beyond the lies to the truth. Okay? We are developing true sight. So any blockages to the third eye are being removed. We need to bring this awareness in. So where once more have we fallen victim to the illusions? So there is no crisis, only the crisis you permit for yourself. So this week we are once more being called to do a little introspection. We need to go in. What are you permitting? What are you allowing to continue on in your life that you really don't want to continue? What is something that has gone on past its due and you know it's long past? What are those things that continue to bring you unnecessary stress and frustration? What stresses and situations are you just ready to finally cut off and have boundaries with? It's time to put those boundaries in place. It's time to cut the cords. It's time to see that this is enough. Enough is enough. Okay? So say no. Where do you need to say no? No more. I'm not going to let this go on. And as this comes forward, becoming so on board with this decision, okay? Because once again, we're through this shadow aspect right now. We're going through the shadows. We're in Mercury retrograde where there is going to be confusion. There is going to be upheaval. It's helping us really navigate this, okay? It's helping overturn what has been hidden to us, to expose it to the light so we can make clear decisions. So we're going to get that clarity, okay? But sometimes when we get clarity and we're like, yes, okay, I know I need this, there's going to be fears that will then surface after. It's only natural. The ego tries to come in and go, well, whoa, okay, I know you got clarity, but what about this? Right? The ego comes in and does it. It makes us look at all those details, makes us re-afraid, so we'll stay safe. Be very mindful of your ego this week, all right? Listen to your soul. Listen to the intuitive things that resonate and rise in the soul and in the heart. Get rid of that mental energy this week. Don't fall victim to fear. Do not base your decisions on fear. Because what is that going to do? It's just going to keep you right where you are. And you're just going to keep looping and looping the cycle. You have to step outside of your fear. You have to have the bravery and the courage to see the bigger picture and go, okay, this has to change. So I do have to take action. I do need to land on a decision and choose me. Choose what is best for me. Choose what is loving for me. Okay? They're saying, what would someone who loved themselves do? I love posing this question because it makes things so crystal clear. If you were so full of love for yourself, what would be the obvious decision? What would be the obvious choice for you to make? And how can you have the courage to think about it, to expand on it, to go that full extent of the mile and go, oh yeah, that's what I do. A lot of us, we don't go that full extent. We don't allow ourselves to go down the road to see what that actually could be because fear gets in the way. It stops us in our tracks. It doesn't let us see beyond. But you need to see beyond now. You need to see beyond the illusion. They're giving me the example of the physical eyes where we have had, say short sight. Maybe we've been short-sighted and that's literally been showing up in your physical eyes. Where have you not been able to see the long game? Where has fear been blurring your sight, your true vision? Okay? It's time to heal this. It's time to create your reality and think and see beyond your fear. Okay? So I love this. With the fear that comes up, we're being told what to do. Okay, I love this. They don't just give us guidelines, they're giving us how to do this. Okay? So when the fear comes up, comfort yourself. Comfort yourself. Don't just sit in it. Don't just keep feeding it and being in the chaotic energy. No. Take control. Get grounded, get centered again. And once you're back in your body, once you feel yourself in that grounded space, go, okay, what are these parts that are terrified, that are triggered by this thought? What are those parts that are not on board, that are in resistance to this new life that I'm creating? Why? Right? This is why we have to listen to those parts. So these emotions that surface from fear, what are they specifically? Is it inadequacy? Is it rejection? What is it specifically? Try to narrow it down to a single word. What is that emotion that surfaces with the fear? What am I actually afraid of? Go into your fear. Don't be afraid to do that. Don't let the fear stop you from seeing what's beneath it. Because I like to think of fear as like a cover story. It's only the surface. It's what's underneath that gives us the truth, the clarity that we really need. So welcome your fear this week. Allow the triggers to show you what lurks beneath the surface, what's actually there, the truth, okay? Your fear is exposing the truth that exists within you. And some of this is being expressed extremely physically. They're showing me this. Like, this is showing up in the physical body. So if you go to your physical, where in my physical body am I experiencing discomfort? And where could that be in the chakra system? And then go to that chakra and go, okay, what emotions store in this chakra? What does the chakra have to do with? What is the domain of this chakra? A lot of you, it's in your solar plexus this week because it's the power, right? The power center. So what blocks my power, my personal empowerment? Well, what am I giving my power away to? What stories exist within that chakra, right? Where am I not confident? The solar plexus is the sun. The sun doesn't dull its light for anyone or anything. So where have you dulled your light? Where are you afraid? Where are you staying small and not taking control of your life, right? This is very much in alignment with what we've been getting this week. What is it specifically? What are those emotions? All right, what is that for you? So support yourself. Go into those triggers. Go into your fear and see beneath the fear to those emotions that are triggered. Love them. Give them space to feel. Okay, these are emotions, these trapped emotions, a lot of the time are emotions we haven't given enough space to. And what I mean by that, it's like, have you given them time to be felt? Or have we pushed them down? Have we ignored the big problem? Right? Where have we been ignoring our hurt, our pain? Right? So once more, we got to process it. We can't ignore it. We can't be in a perpetual space of denial. A lot of us love to be in there, but it's not real. It's not good for you. It's not allowing you to live free. This is harming your body. This is harming your energy. This is harming your manifestations, because if we don't get honest about what's in there, it's going to show up in our external to show us. This is what you actually believe, right? So once again, if you're confused of where to start, look at your external. What have you externally been manifesting? What areas have you been manifesting? And what's the theme? What's the theme? Is it lack? Is it not being confident? Is it not allowing yourself to have joy? Is it shame? Right? What is it? Gets very specific this week, and it is going to free you, my friends. So give that part of you space to be. Listen to that part. Think of yourself as your own best friend this week, right? Remember that. I always bring this up because it's so powerful. You need to be your best friend. How would you show up for your best friend in this scenario? How could you comfort them? How would you want to show up, right? You give them space to talk. You give them space to breathe and feel how they feel. Do you give yourself that courtesy? Why not? Aren't you valid too? Where have you told your emotions that they're not valid? They don't deserve to have a voice? That they don't get to be felt because they're inconvenient for you? Now imagine if anyone else treated you that way. You are your emotions. They are a part of you. Where have you rejected that part of yourself? Where have you said, no, you're too inconvenient. I'm too emotional, so I'm going to shut it down. I don't have time for you. How cruel. How mean. Would you treat your best friend that way? So why do you treat yourself this way? Right? It's time to heal this cruelty. It's time to heal the unworthiness. Whatever this is for you that's not allowing you to listen to these parts, it's time to give them space. And to not only comfort them, but encourage them lovingly. So they often show me this as like the emotions, the denied emotions storing in the inner child, because that hinders the joy, that hinders our pure, innocent expression of self. That's what a child represents. So how can we take the hands of our inner child this week and give them loving encouragement and go, okay, I'm going to listen. I'm going to hear your fears. I'm going to hear your worries. I'm going to hear the emotions and give you space to feel them. And when that's all out, when that's all done, I'm going to take your hand and we're going to go somewhere wonderful. We're going to go to this next phase of our lives and I'm going to let you have fun. I'm going to let you experience and feel and see every good thing that we were ever denied. I'm going to give that to you because I'm going to be the parent now. I'm going to take your hand and I'm going to show you every single thing that this life has to offer. I'm not going to treat you like this again, where I hurt you, where I deny you, where I don't listen to you, where I make you feel like you're not worthy and not good enough. Take my hand. Let me show you how beautiful this life can be. I'm going to let you play. I'm going to let you sing. I'm going to let you dance and be so full of love and laughter and joy because this is what you deserve. Right? This is what you deserve. So when you visualize that picture, what is that for you? And where have you been settling for less? It's time to be very mindful of what we are saying yes to and where we need to see what we no longer deserve. Okay? It's time to make a decision. It's time to be firm. And as we make those internal changes, so the external will shift. So they gave this beautiful analogy that came through in a visual as I was channeling. And so it was like, what does your mirror reflect? What does your external reflect of you, right? And they were showing me a woman who was putting on makeup. And it was like, what areas do you wish to highlight, right? That's what makeup does. It enhances our own inner beauty. It enhances certain aspects of ourselves. And they're showing me like when it's done right? We don't want to hide ourselves. We don't want to cake ourselves in something that hinders our beauty. We want to enhance the beauty of ourselves. So this is what they were showing me. It's like, how can you be so diligent in your life that you're taking certain sections and you're enhancing them? You're making them even more beautiful, drawing more attention to those areas that make you happy, that make you feel good, that make you feel confident in yourself, right? And this helps us build this loving confidence, this praise in ourselves. It helps us live life in a way that really reflects who we are, right? So this is what channeled next. How can we live a life that mirrors who we truly are, not the stories that we hide behind? So this is the gift we're being given this week. We are being given the gift to choose, right? Absolutely incredible. And it's up to us what we decide to enhance. So choose wisely this week. Do this inner work and your life will change, okay? So then we move into this new theme, which is the gift of mediumship. This is incredible. So I'm going to read what channeled here. Shifting the story. What still makes you afraid of the dark? What needs clarity? Now is the time to seek out the answers. Get curious. Expand your mind. Question all beliefs that keep you in fear. Play in the benefit. Play in the inspired. Follow the call of the soul and the spirit, and judge with the heart, not the mask you have hid behind. The mask of other people's beliefs. It's time to discover what is true for you. Set your truth apart. It's okay if it's different. It's okay if it isn't like the rest. You are you. And that is all you are ever meant to be. It's time to see what resonates within the soul. Give yourself permission to see. Okay, this was absolutely incredible. So we're actually getting this huge theme of mediumship. And this has been coming up a lot lately. You might have even noticed, if you're very energetically sensitive, maybe you've been sensing spirit more often than not. It seems like spirit wants to play a more active part in our daily lives. It seems like this veil is almost thinning to the point where we are sensing and tuning into spirit in more ways than before. So once more, they're showing me this like very active energy, this energy that's speeding up. And with this, we're needing to become aware of the stories we have regarding this area. So what do you believe about spirit? What do you believe about what happens when we die? What are your beliefs? Okay? And have you become sure in them? Okay? So as mediumship becomes more of a dominant theme, as a lot of us become more awakened to our gifts with this, we have to start really seeing what we believe now and what the truth is for ourselves. So a lot of us might have grown up with certain belief systems, certain stories regarding this. So a lot of us might have some backgrounds that made it forbidden, right? A lot of us might have grown up with stories that they're scary, they're bad, there's mischievous spirits and ghosts, and they've made it into a dark, scary thing. A lot of us have maybe fed into that through what Hollywood and books and media have portrayed. But is that the truth, right? So what they're really bringing forward this week is shifting the story, right? What is it that makes you afraid of it? And what needs clarity? Where do we need to shine a light on those fears once more and seek out the answers? So this week we're being called to be curious, to ask those questions and give ourselves the permission to explore them, okay? Because once again, a lot of us have been so afraid we've cut it all off. We're like, no, I'm not even going to go there. Well, that just keeps you ignorant, point blank. So have the courage this week to delve into that. What is that truth for you? Okay? Expand your mind. Be willing. And play in the benefit. Okay, I love this. What is the benefit to believing that spirit is good? What is the benefit that working with spirit can be beneficial? Right? Explore the other side of the story. Like that's what they're kind of saying. It's like, how can you make an objective decision if you're only seeing one side? You have to explore both. You have to go into both sides to make an informed decision. So where have we blocked off certain possibilities because of fear and because of what other people have taught us or made us believe? What is your true belief when it comes to spirit? Okay? Now this is where we have to once again trust ourselves. We got to go into the soul. We got to trust our hearts, our spirit, because that is where the truth lies. It's not in the external stories. It's not in the ego. It's not in the fear. We know that. So where have we still just been feeding into it? Take control this week. What resonates for me? What resonates in my body, in my soul, right? There's a big difference when you get truth that rises through your heart and your soul space as the one that comes from fear and through the ego. So it's time to discover what you believe. It's time to see what you believe and to accept that your truth might be different. Okay? And if your truth is different than the norm, who cares? Like they're really bringing this in. It's like, but it's true for you.
So what does it matter if it goes along with everyone else's narrative? What if it's different? Who cares? This is what resonates for you. This is your truth. And once you land on that truth, be unapologetic about it. It's time to see what resonates for you. It's time to give yourself permission to see. Okay? Now, what's so beautiful is this is going to free us. So what really was coming through was removing your fear. And this is what channeled. You already live in paradise. You are removing the illusions that hide the truth of heaven on earth. Okay? This is what's so beautiful is once more, they are giving our power back to ourselves. They are showing us where these illusions have separated us from love, from the truth of the universe, from the truth of our souls, and the truth of life itself. Because once we remove the fear, we start seeing that we already live in a beautiful world that is separate from nothing. We are not separate from those on the other side. And be aware, fear separates. Fear divides. So where are we being called to unify? Where are we being called to bring this awareness of other possibilities? Okay? So I love this truth because once more, a lot of us have been taught belief systems that say in the future when this extraordinary event happens, we'll use this example of God intervening on earth and making everything right again. What if everything could already be that way? Right? If this challenges your narrative, let it. Can you be uncomfortable in that for just a minute? Let yourself be uncomfortable. Let those uncomfortable feelings surface. Let yourself question it. How else would you figure out your truth? Right? You've got to be willing to see the other side. What if this is something we don't have to wait for? What if we could experience pure connection with our loved ones who have crossed over right now? What if we don't have to wait till we die? Right? What if that was a belief system that once again separated you from your power, from the truth, from what is actually possible? Because think of this, if we knew our power, then we could do anything. We wouldn't be a slave anymore. So think about that. Where do you need to reclaim your own narrative? Where do you need to be brave enough to see the truth? What if paradise already exists? What if heaven already exists on earth? And what if they're one and the same? What if it's what we choose to see? What if it's what we choose to believe? What if all these stories we've been taught that in the future you get to have joy and peace and connect with those who have passed? Once more, just separates us that we already can. Right? So we are removing the illusions that hide the truth that has been here all along. Okay? Now, this is incredibly important that we do this. So I'm just hearing no more procrastinating. Some of us are procrastinating because of our fear, and we know it's going to challenge our narratives. It's going to challenge beliefs we've held for a very long time. But we need to do it, and the time is now. Okay? They're saying no more dilly-dallying. The time is now. That's why we're saying it. Okay? This is important because of what channeled next. Open the gates. Okay, this is what I heard. Open the gates. And they show me heaven's gates opening. Many are crossing over at this time, for they can be of more help on the other side. A profound time of healing and change is here, and we must be ready. New babies are being born. Light workers are being strategically placed. We must remove the barriers that separate us from love. The illusion of death is being exposed now. You are beginning to see through the mask of cruelty and loss, to see that it never existed at all. You will transcend. You are meant to live forever, and so it is. Welcome yourself home in the arms of God. Wow. Wow. This is amazing. We are living in this time. Think about that. Your soul decided it wanted to be here right now. We can see it. We can feel it. A lot of us are feeling this change, this shift that is happening on a planetary level. And a lot of you are going to go, oh, but all the darkness, see all the darkness? Yeah, well, it's being exposed, right? And it's challenging us, isn't it? How much can you be the light? How much can you focus on just you, on your love, on who you need to be? Think about that. If the darkness is challenging you, how can it make you ever more strong in your light? Right? It's all in our perspectives. It's all in how we're seeing. It's all in how we view things. That is the power of our minds. That is the power we have in free will. But we need to listen to the soul. We need to listen to the spirit. We need to listen to the calling we all have, the destiny we feel in our bones, which is we are going to be the light. We are here to touch this world with our love, with who we are, with our beauty. It's time to stop denying your calling. It's time to embrace you are light. This is why it is so important that you remove the stories that say you're not, and remove the stories that make you feel afraid, because this is holding you back from being your light. You need to be in your light. If you've noticed that you've been isolated a little more, that you've been wanting to hermit a little more, maybe the opposite, you've been wanting to find other people that are like you, your soul family. Either end of the spectrum, it's to help you rebuild your light. Listen. Do it. Meet your needs. Find the people that bring out the best in you, because your light is that important. We're being taught how to love ourselves. We're being taught how to make our worlds and our lives so filled with beauty that we're filled to the brim. Our cups are going to be full. Can you not see why this is important? A lot of us go, oh, it's just me. My needs don't matter. I'll give it away to everybody. I'll do whatever they need. I'll forget about myself. That is not to be glorified anymore. You need to fill your cup so you can be the light, so you can do what you're here to do. Now notice this. This is going to bring significant shifts, okay? Because these shifts are happening. Light workers are being strategically placed. Have you been thinking about a move? Have you been thinking about changing your job? Have you been thinking about starting a family? What are those changes that your intuition is urging you to make? Light workers are being directed. So don't be surprised if these sudden shifts fall into place for you. That if all of a sudden you were moving somewhere, that all of a sudden there's a new baby in the family, that all of a sudden you're going to be changing jobs, you're going to be moving locations, you're going to be cultivating your dreams, because it's time. You need to be in your light. So good things are happening. Beautiful things are happening. Things that serve you are happening. It's guaranteed. That's what I'm hearing. You do this work, it is guaranteed. So how can you make your vibration and your belief systems the number one priority right now? Because that is what's being called to create this new reality. So when it comes to spirit, we are being prepared to tap into the spirit world, to tap into that energy and that vibration, to no longer separate ourselves from that and believe that that's something that's not possible for us. A lot of us don't think we have the gift. A lot of us don't think it's possible. Are you a soul? Yeah. Are people who cross over simply a soul? Yeah. Why couldn't your soul communicate with another soul? Did you ever think that it is all the time? Did you ever think that maybe you already are, but you just haven't let yourself see it? You haven't let yourself explore it? That maybe your guides and spirit have been telling you things in ways that you understand, that don't make you afraid? Because remember, they love you. The universe loves you. It wants to make sure that you get those messages loud and clear, but it doesn't want to make you afraid. Right? And if it does, maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for you to face that fear. So whatever surfaces in this way this week, allow it to happen. Be willing to face that fear and know you can conquer it. Okay? Because the minute you do this, the minute you remove these barriers that have separated you from love and the possibilities of your life, you're beginning to see just how powerful you are. And you open yourself up to the unconditional love in all its forms. So I love this. It says the illusion of death is being exposed. We're starting to realize that nothing is ever lost. We are healing this wound, this grief inside us that touches everyone. And we're starting to see it in a new way. We're starting to realize that we never die. We transcend. We just shift. And that those who have been lost to us have never been lost truly at all. How freeing is this? How freeing it is to no longer be plagued by the fear of death. This information is so powerful. Can you imagine never fearing death? Think about that. Allow your belief systems to be tested. And that is when you will know your truth. So my friends, that's all I have for us this week. What an absolutely amazing reading. What a powerful reading. I could hardly believe it myself, how intense this was and how amazing this was and how profound these shifts and changes that we're doing and we're making are really impacting this world, how we in our light are impacting this world. And we have to stop minimizing it. We have to stop minimizing our needs. We have to stop minimizing our fears and our belief systems because they so matter. So if anything from this reading, please remember how powerful you are. Please remember what you truly deserve. Please remember that your truth matters. Your light matters. And that is why you are here. To be love. To showcase this love. To show others your love. And it so matters. So thank you for being love in this world. Thank you for doing everything you do that makes this world a better place. Thank you for all the healing that you've been willing to do, the trauma you've been willing to face. You are amazing. And know that you can keep doing this. So I'm sending you all so much love from the bottom of my heart. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful week ahead.